Following on from the video I did last week commenting on the latest wave of Star Wars retro collection figures, I'm pleased to say that the majority of the comments I received were positive and echoed my sentiments. Unfortunately, and not entirely unexpectedly, a few of the Hasbros reared their ugly heads to tell me I'm clueless and that these new offerings from Hasbro are in fact perfect. Another point that was made was the fact that these figures from Hasbro are far superior to the offerings from custom makers like Stan Solo Creations, Pro Customs and the M.a.s.k because not only are they cheaper, they are officially licensed. In this video, I'm going to address these points and highlight the fact that you actually get what you pay for. Welcome back. Now, we've all had a few days to digest the news that the next wave of the retro collection will focus on the first Star Wars movie and give us 5 brand new figures that were never made by Kenner back in the day. As things stand, all 5 of these new figures have been available for quite some time thanks to Stan Solo, Pro Customs and the M.a.s.k, and in each and every case, these are far superior to what Hasbro is offering. While Hasbro has their figures at a very reasonable price point, the quality reflects this. So let's go ahead and do a side-by-side comparison and show you exactly why you get what you pay for. Starting with Han Solo in his Stormtrooper disguise, at a glance the Hasbro version looks passable, but it's only upon closer inspection of the head that you realise how bad this figure is. In the case of the Stan Solo version, there's no question that this is meant to be Han Solo. But when looking at the Hasbro version, I'm left asking one question. Who the fucking hell are you? To me, this looks like a villain from a 1970s kung fu movie, and the only things missing are a headband and a karate chop action feature. It should be noted that the heads on these figures have to be smaller than normal to accommodate the helmets, but as Hasbro have elected to go with a soft, flexible material for their helmet, then really they could have gone with a more regular sized head. Without question, this one has to go to Stan Solo. Yes, the Stan Solo figure is quite a bit more expensive than the Hasbro version, but as you'll hear me say throughout this video, you get what you pay for. Sticking with Stan Solo, we're now looking at the Rebel Fleet Trooper. How anyone can in good faith say that the Hasbro version is perfect defies belief. While the body of the figure looks acceptable at first glance, it's only upon closer inspection that the lack of detail stands out, and why they chose to paint the bottom of the vest on the hips is something only Hasbro can answer. Moving on to the head, and the first thing that stands out is how ridiculous the helmet looks. Not only is the chin strap missing, it's far too small and looks nothing like the helmet we saw on screen. This is a massive fail on Hasbro's part, and what really blows my mind is that there was a potentially really cheap way of them making the perfect Rebel Fleet Trooper. As the Hasbros are quick to point out, Stan Solo figures are unlicensed, and therefore, if Hasbro were to have scanned one of the Stan Solo figures to create the injection mold, there would have been nothing Chris Smith could do, and Hasbro would have had the perfect figure without incurring any design costs. Instead, they've actually paid someone to design this monstrosity. Now, if Stan Solo isn't your thing, Pro Customs actually do a Rebel Fleet Trooper. Actually, that's not true. They do 6 different versions of this figure. We have 3 different skin tones and the options of facial hair or clean shaven. I'm not expecting Hasbro to go to these levels, but surely a 4-pack would have gone down a storm with consumers who like to army build. But nope. If you want more than one of these figures, you're forced to buy multiple boxes containing additional figures that are unlikely to be used for any army building purposes. Once again, Stan Solo and now Pro Customs have shown Hasbro who's the boss. So sticking with Pro Customs, we now have Luke Skywalker in his Yavin ceremony outfit. I think it's fair to say that this is the worst figure in the box. There is absolutely nothing redeemable about this figure. I mean, what the hell is going on with those legs? Things only get worse as we move up to the head. If you were to show this figure to someone who doesn't know Star Wars, I can guarantee you that they would think this was a girl. But fear not, because Pro Customs has you covered. Now, while this figure may not be perfect, it's 100 times better than the crap Hasbro is offering, and yes, it is a lot more expensive, but let me just say this again, you get what you pay for. When it comes to the Sandtrooper, I really don't have much in the way of negativity, as far as the figure is concerned, it takes a really special brand of stupidity to mess up a Stormtrooper. My complaint here lies in the fact that for some, this is a desirable army building figure, which has been locked away into a box set. Once again, Hasbro have missed the opportunity of selling boatloads of these in a 4-pack, but then again, how appealing would this have been when they've only produced the pauldron in orange? Fortunately, Pro Customs have addressed this, and if you so wish, you can purchase Sandtroopers with orange, black or white pauldrons. Finally, we have Dr. Evazan, and while the body looks half decent, the figure is let down by a really poor head sculpt that looks nothing like the character. If screen accuracy is your thing, the next 17 may be able to help you out. Now, while the body of their figure is not as detailed as Hasbro's version, the head sculpt is vastly superior, so I would imagine a bit of head swapping could be the answer. Now, while there are no custom versions of Walrus Man available, I do question why he was included in this set. Yes, I get that he and Evazan were partners in the movie, but in that case, why not a Luke and Stormtrooper disguise to go with Han, or a ceremonial Leia to go with the Yavin Luke? Hasbro have already shown us that they're not afraid to stick it to the elitist collectors by giving us a yak face, so why not include the blue Snaggletooth with this set? These past few days have been quite eye-opening as far as the mentality of some collectors, or should I say consumers, are concerned. For years, I've faced accusations of being too poor to be able to afford true vintage figures just because I'm a huge fan of Stan Solo. If you can't afford a real one, then maybe collecting Star Wars isn't for you. And yet now, I'm hearing that the Hasbro Retro Collection is perfect because it's cheaper. I really don't know what to say except, despite your best efforts, Hasbro is not going to sleep with you or send you free stuff.